All right, hi guys. I've laid out all my clothes that I'm going to be wearing and what I'm going to be taking as far as my winter gear, which I'm going to carry all this right through. I may send back a couple of these overkill midwinter layers, but basically the rest of this here is all going to go with me. So let's start with what I'm going to be wearing right off the bat, and typically what is going to be my daily layers. So we'll start with the hats. That's my sun hat right here on Elfie. I'll be wearing this here usually most of the time during the day. In camp, I'll be wearing my baseball cap here, the AT baseball cap. So those are the two caps that I'm going to be wearing. Now, as far as my hiking clothes, these are the cool convertible pants, and the legs zip off. I really like these because I have locking snap pockets here. It's a durable material, especially when we have to do scrambles. I haven't had any issues with these at all. They dry fairly quick. So this is what I'm going to be taking. I'll be wearing these, and then come summertime I'll just unzip the legs. If I get into a buggy area, then I'll put the lower legs back on to keep from getting eaten alive. Being in the spring, we're going to be that's going to be the issue. Is going to be the bugs. I really like these Under Armour. From day one, this is what I've used for the last 10 years. Not the same pair, but these, knock on wood, never had any chafing. These really work out good. I take 2 pair of these so that after 3 or 4 days, I can wash these out, hang them on the back of my pack, and I still have another pair to wear until I get into a town to do my laundry. So that's what I'm wearing there. Now depending on the weather, I like these button-down hiking shirts. You can roll up the sleeves. When you're hot, you can unbutton the chest to get some airflow onto your body there. Really like these. And these here are the UV 50 coating on it, so it helps reduce some sun damage. Now, if it's a real hot, humid day, I will then just wear my wicking t-shirt, but I usually will wear, this will always be my first layer, and then I can layer up or down with my vented hair hiking button-down shirt. So these are two that I'll always leave camp with, especially in the morning. This is all I need because it's usually cooler, and after an hour or so I can take this off, or I take that off and I just wear this. If it's buggy, I leave my sleeves down. If it's nice and warm, I can roll up these sleeves, unbutton the chest, and I hike nice and cool. So this is basically the clothes that I'll be wearing. I use Dirty Girl gaiters to keep the pebbles and twigs and stuff from getting into my hiking trail runners. I use the Dawn Toughs. Been using these last 5 years, I guess. And actually, these are the same pair. Well, I must have a half a dozen pair, but these are one of the originals, still going good. So I'm going to keep using them. I have no problems with them. 2 years ago, my liners, I switched over to the Indingi's toe liners. These things are awesome. They're a little bit of a pain in the neck to put on because you got to make sure every toe is in there. Up until the time I switched to these, I used to have toe issues where I would get some rubbing in between my toes, and I would always have to put a little bit of Luca tape on a couple of my toes. because I would get hot spots in my early days, little blisters, nothing major, but enough just to be an annoyance. Knock on wood again, since I've gone to the Injinjis, no toe issues, nothing. Because again, it's a liner. All your toes are protected. So even if it's a hot, damp, your wet feet, if your toes are rubbing together, you're not going to have an issue because they're protected by this liner. So I highly recommend these Injinji toe socks, liners. I'm going to stick with the Darn Tough hiking socks, but they do make hiking socks that will go over these too. I haven't tried them because I've had good luck with the Darn Tough, so I'm going to stay with them. So those are the socks that I'm wearing. As far as my shoes, these are the Hokers. I have 300 miles on these now, and you can see the wear. You know, they're getting a little worn, but I probably still have another, I'm going to say another 400 miles, 400 miles left on these. So I'm probably going to start off with these, and then when I get up to, I don't know, somewhere up the trail there, I have 2 other pair waiting, and I'll have them sent to me. But these are the Hokers, the Hoka 1-1, and these are the Stenson model. Really, these are the best shoes I've ever had, and I've tried them all. I've tried the Ultras, Lone Peaks, not a fan of those. These, in my opinion, are night and day compared to those. So this is what I'll be using. Again, they're trail runners, so you know if I have to walk through water, they just vent. They just flow. The water just comes right out of them. And depending on the day, I have to either switch socks over or just keep hiking, especially if it's raining. You might as well just stay in wet socks. And then try to stop somewhere midway just to let your feet air out so that you don't, your feet don't turn into a prune. So this is what I'm using for my shoes. And then when I get into camp, to help dry my feet, I just have sandals here. Not going to be hiking in these, but I have these mainly for taking showers in public areas. I do not want to be walking on uncleaned in shower stalls. I just don't want to pick up any foot fungus or anything like that. So I highly recommend carrying something. Even if you just use it for the showers, you don't want to go barefoot in some of these places. So that's why I have these, and these only come in at 6 ounces. They're like 3 ounces each. So the pair is like 6 ounces, the lightest that I can find. These are just Walmart sandals, and they work. It's all you need. And then you can walk around camp too. Let your feet air out at the end of the day. Let that air get in there, dry out your feet, especially if you've been if it's really hot and your feet have been sweating, or if you've been walking through streams and stuff, it's very important to dry out your feet. So again, this is what I'll be taking here. Now let me get over here on this side. This is my camp clothes / town clothes. When I get into camp, usually I'll set up my shelter because I'm warm, I'm moving. Then as soon as my shelter's set up, I get out of my wet clothes. If I've been sweating all day or if I've been in the rain, I get out of that clothes. And this is typically what I wear. I have Patagonia here, midway. Well, they're light. You can actually see through them. So I don't know if you could. These, I forgot what they are. They're Patagonia, but they're a light / midweight. So I have the tops. And then I have my leggings right here. So I usually get into these. If I'm going to stay in my tent or under my hammock, I'll just wear these. They're pretty thin. But if I'm going to be walking around, and then I'll put on these real super light jogging shorts. I've cut out the line. Yes, I've cut out the liner on these. And these will go over. These will go over my leggings, and this is how I'll be walking around camp like this. So I'm a little more presentable. I don't want my my private areas being exposed here, so I wear my shorts around camp. I also have a second pair of Under Armour that I don't usually wear these around camp, but if it's a cold, if I have signs of hypothermia, I put on every layer, every dry pair of layer I have. So I may wear these, but typically these are just to replace my hiking Under Armour if they're soaking wet or if they're really grungy because I've been out for a week and I haven't been to laundry, so I have another pair here. That's what that's for. And then this is my camp shirt. Again, another button down, even lighter than my hiking shirt. This thing is really, really light. It's got no, it has it's venting here in the back. But again, it's a button down, it's a long sleeve. So this is what I'll wear around camp and in town. This here would be my town clothes that I would wear when I get into town and I need to resupply or do laundry and whatever. This is what I'll be wearing right here. So this is year round. This is my setup that I take on every single trip that I go on. And then for sleeping, these are my woolen smart wool socks that I wear strictly for in camp and sleeping right here. Now these, highly recommend these here calf compression socks. These help my legs, my calves recover from a hard day of climbing, a long day of hiking. These I got these online. They definitely work. Occasionally I'll feel if I'm pushing hard, if I have a heavy pack because I've just resupplied, I'll get a little pain on my shin splints, my shins. If you don't address that, you could end up with shin splints. These have saved me so many times, so many times. I put these on and I'll hike with these the next couple of days and I'll sleep with them at night, and within 2 days, whatever issues I've had with my shins are gone. These things have really, and they're super light. These are with me on every trail I hit. Highly recommend these. If you have a knee issue, you can pull these up over your kneecap to give you a little support if you're having knee issues also. You could probably use these on your ankle because they're super tight. You can actually, if you're going to use them around your ankle, if you sprain your ankle, you just double them up so you have double the compression around your ankle area. Instead of using a gauze, you can use these here too. So very universal compression sock. I highly, highly recommend these. I don't roll my legs. This is what I put on at night, and they work. My legs are rejuvenated overnight. Okay, let me go back to the other side and show you my winter layering gear here. Okay, I also carry, in addition to my hiking socks that I'm going to be wearing, I also carry 2 more sets, especially in the spring. I could probably send 1 set back when we hit warmer weather, but in the winter, in the spring, and in the fall when we have our 2 rainy seasons, especially up north, in the spring it will be down south. We're going to have weeks of rain. I'm telling you right now, if you people are new to the area or new to the sport, it's going to rain. And when you're in the mountains don't clear out. Everything's going to be wet. And you want to keep your feet dry. So I carry 2 extra pairs of socks to get me through so I don't have any foot issues. I do not want trench foot. I do not want to have any blisters. So this is important that you take care of your feet. So this is what I carry extra. Now, this is only going to be for springtime and wintertime. These are the Seal waterproof socks, and these things do work. If I leave camp and it's snow, or if I know it's going to be raining, these things are going on with a pair of Ninja liners underneath these, because these are hard to get on and off. So with the liners, your foot just slides right in. You can get your foot right out. So I highly recommend these. They're very expensive. I can't believe how much they get for these things, but they work. And they keep your feet warm. So with the trail runners, you can be hiking in snow with these things. People ask, how can you keep don't you need Scintillite watertight boots? And yeah, but for late season, we might have a day or two of snow, and then it'll melt off really quick. That March sun, the snow is not going to last long. But that day or two that you're going to be hiking in it, you want to make sure your feet are warm. So that's why I have the seal skin neoprene socks. So this may be an item that will go back in May or something. I'll send these back. Also at night, I've tried this. This is something new that I've had, and if we hit a cold day, which we will get in April, I've had snow. Well, last year we had snow in the Smokies. We had 3 inches of snow. It was brutally cold. The wind was blowing. This is a great little buff headpiece. And it's made by Columbia, but it's got the heat reflective on the inside, so you don't need the real thick neoprene or fleece hoodies. This is all you need. You can sleep with this at night too. You want to keep your head covered at night because you lose a lot of heat through your head. Even though you're in a nice down bag, you want to retain your body. You want to retain that heat that your body's creating. So you can wear this too. So this may be something that will go back in May, but this is what I'm taking for my early season here to help retain my comfort level. I also have a light pair of neoprene, not neoprene, I guess these is like a fleece, a really tight woven fleece gloves. And then I also have the Z-Pack water mitts that will go over this, so you can use them as a wind block, and if it's raining you can use them as a rain glove too. So this is all I'm taking. I also have another pair of down winter mitts, but that's going to be the day before I head for the plane. I will look at a 10-day forecast to see what the trend is. Those are really January, February gloves. They're pretty thick, and I don't really think I'm going to need those. If worst case scenario, I can always put the glove on, take my night pair of gloves. I mean, this is only if it's really bad, and I can wear my gloves, double down on them, and I can still grab my trekking poles if I have to. But this is another way, and then I can put my Z-Pack wind gloves mitts over this here too. So this is another way where you can utilize some of your equipment in another manner. So keep that in mind too. This would be a last resort thing. I would probably try maybe one of my Darn Tough socks first, but these are a little tighter. Those have a little more room in them. But anyway, that's what I have planned to keep my hands warm when it gets really cold and snowy. So these will be with me through the whole trip. I'd never send these home. They stay. The other thing that will be with me the whole trip is I have this real soft fleece buff. And you can use this to sleep in at night. You put this around your neck. You can pull it up over your mouth. You can pull it up over the back of your head and then put your hat on over that. This is very universal. I really like this buff. I also have a summer buff I forgot where I put it, but I have a real light summer buff. If I'm going to be on a bald and the sun is really beaten down. I've gotten burnt so many times in March. That March sun down here is strong, so you got to make sure you cover and it's going to, because we're heading north, the sun most of the day is going to be beating down your back. So you got to make sure you put something on the back of your neck. You are definitely going to burn. And if you're wearing shorts, make sure you put sunscreen on the back of your calves, because the first couple of days you're going to be a hurting pup if you don't watch out for that sun. So that's where I use this hair buff. If it's a cool day, I can use this on my neck and pull it up over my head. This will be going with me the whole trip also. Okay, so on cold days and possibly sleeping at night, this is my wool Arc'teryx winter hat. This will be going with me the whole trip, right up. I'm not sending this back. This comes in handy. This will be in a pouch, an outside pouch on my pack, so I can just grab it. If I stop for lunch on a ridge and the wind kicks up, you always cool down on a ridge. I can just slap this hat right on, stay nice and warm. So for my on top of my hiking 2 shirts, if it's super cold in the morning, I can always layer up over my thermal wear. I had to do that once last year in April when we had that snow. It was like 19 degrees. It was snow. The wind was blowing. So when I get up in the morning, I just left my thermal wear on, and then I put my hiking clothes over that. And after an hour, let the sun come up about 9 o'clock or so, I was able to take off some layers. I just pulled off the trail and stripped down and took off my thermals. But so that's an option that you can use with your hiking clothes if it's a super cold day. Other than that, though, I have 3 layers that I can put on over that at the beginning. My outer layer, if all my most extreme would be my Z-Pack raincoat. That would go over this here. This is my soft shell Arc'teryx synthetic. It's made to repel drizzle, light rain, fog, damp, and it's synthetic, so I don't have to worry about my down. So this I wear a lot, especially in the morning in those cold, damp, 40, 45 degree rainy days. I have an umbrella that I use. This is what I'll be wearing underneath it. If it's a driving rain, wind-driven rain, then I'll wear my Z-Pack rain jacket over this, okay? But this is my outer layer, soft outer shell, the Arc'teryx, and it's the hooded also. So really, really happy with this. This is super warm. Now underneath that, only around camp, I will not hike in this unless we have an Arctic blast, but we're not going to have that. If it were February, I would be concerned. But the last week of March, we're not going to get that. We may get a cold wave, but I have enough other layers that I can wear other than getting into this. This is my Arc'teryx 900 down puffy, hooded puffy. This is strictly for camp. This only comes in like a 10 ounces, I believe. Super, super light, but extremely warm. If you look at the loft on this thing, look at how thick the loft is on here. I've had the Ghost Whisperer. I might as well be better off with my pullover button-down shirt than that thing. That thing didn't do anything for me, so I ended up switching up here to the Arc'teryx. Really happy with this. So this is my camp jacket. Now, also, what I would be hiking in if I got into a position where it was really cool, over my button-down shirt, I have a vest. This is the Arc'teryx 900 down vest. This, I will hike in this. Because all I want to do is keep my core warm. My arms and legs, your arms and legs can take teens. As long as you're not exposed to the wind. But if, with a t-shirt on like this and you're hiking, you're not going to have an issue. But your core, you don't want your core to cool down. So I have a vest. I use this more than I use some of the other puffies. This thing is perfect for because you don't have the sleeves, so your armpits are always venting. I just do not sweat in this, but yet I stay nice and warm. So I am a real big, the last year or so, I've been using this one right here, my vest. And I really like this as a next option up after my shirt here, and it gets cool. I go with the vest, and that seems to take care of me into the 40-degree or wind blown, wind chill factors. This works out very well. This vest comes in at 5 ounces. So this is worth taking for 5 ounces. For what it gives me, this is what I want. So that's about it here as far as my clothes, camp clothes, town clothes, hiking clothes. The only thing I hadn't taken out is my Z-Pack raincoat. I mean, it's just a basic raincoat. It's got the arm zip ventilating. It's got the hood. And it has no pocket, so which is fine, but that's super light. That's my only other layer. That's on top of everything if the weather gets super bad, snowy, rainy, whatever. So if you have any questions, again, list them at the bottom, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. And the next segment is I'll go over all my other miscellaneous gear that I'm taking, and then we'll pack it all. We'll pack it all in the Mariposa. I'll show you how I pack it, and I have a system so that during the day, if there's something that I need, it will be right at the top, if not in one of the outside pockets. And that all changes from day to day. Whatever the forecast is, will determine like if this goes in the pack or if I leave this outside in the back mesh or on one of the side pockets. Same thing with my gloves and my buff. If it's just going to be a warm day, I pack these things away. I don't need them. So I'll get into that in another video. So again, any questions, just list them at the bottom.